What's up YouTube, this is Mathis97 and welcome back to my SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 General Manager mode, coming to you from Manchester, England for this edition of Monday Night Raw. So as you can see, we're going to be holding an interview this week. I picked up a bunch of money last week, but I'm still going to do the advertising promo just because I like to throw one a week into the show just to keep bringing in the ad revenue. It's always nice. And it's good to have a nice supply in advance once all those contracts start running up. So that's why I'll probably be running at least one advertising promo a week. But I want to throw in an interview to try to boost the popularity of Mr. Kennedy and as well try to add a boost to his match rating for this week. Just because, I mean, he got a big win over a legend, Mick Foley, last week. But, okay, that's not the Legend Killer storyline, but you get it. He got a big win, an upset victory, so we want to interview him and get his thoughts on that. This week, I have decided we've had the WWE Championship on the line for the past 2 weeks. So I think this week we're gonna try to hold back a little bit. I feel like we have done enough with the WWE title things, even though last week was kind of an underwhelming finish. That's the game's fault for being the game. Because there's no way that title belt shot should have won the matchup, but I digress. This week, we are going to do an elimination tag team matchup. Because tag team matchups, they're going to happen in GM mode. They are going to take place, and since I obviously can't do triple threats without ruining the rivalry, that's not going to be an option. I guess I'll have to... Or do I need to do like a fatal four-way involving 2 rivalries? Should I put that to the test this episode? I guess I will. It's the first month, so we can recover if things go south. So this, I guess, is going to be the month where I put a bunch of things, I risk a bunch of things and just see if it pays off. Unfortunately, that means that Backlash could suffer, but I need to know in advance how this stuff works. It might just be triple threats. That might not work, maybe because Tori wasn't in the rivalry. I have no idea. So this is why I need to test this stuff now to know how this stuff will play out. So I guess the best way to do it, let's throw both of our top-of-the-line rivalries to the Wolves, the ones that are going to be going on for 15 weeks. So we're going to throw a fatal four-way. Actually, that doesn't make any sense. Why would I do that? Does that make sense? The Intercontinental and the WWE titles kind of clashing. No, that doesn't make sense. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. I'm going to go with my tag team idea. We're going to do the elimination. No, we're not going to do an elimination. We're going to do a normal tag team matchup. It is going to be Shawn Michaels and, not Eddie Guerrero, and Rey Mysterio. They are going to be joining forces, the Intercontinental Champion and the #1 contender for the WWE Championship, taking on the current #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship and the current WWE Champion. So it'll be Eddie Guerrero and Triple H teaming up to take on Rey Mysterio and Shawn Michaels. Yes, this means that Chavo not going to be involved in the feud this week, but that's okay. That's why I didn't throw him into the feud, because then he'd have to be there every week, and that's a bit of a hindrance. So this week we're going to do Tornado Tag Team action. That should be fun. Prior to that, we're going to do a singles matchup. It is going to be The Undertaker taking on, his rivalry is with Randy Orton. So this week, we're going to mix things up. It's going to be Undertaker versus Edge. John Cena is going to be teaming with Randy Orton. That's what we're going to do. That is going to be our way to keep that rivalry going, and at the same time, not take up 2 separate matches on the card for it. Next week, then, I can probably swap places with them. Like I said, keep it simple for the first month. We don't need to really throw the book against the wall, or whatever the metaphor is that I'm looking for in this situation. And not the metaphor, but the phrase that I'm seeking. So I guess we're not going to do a triple threat because that doesn't work apparently. So this is where we're going to try the fatal four-way. This week, it is going to be Mr. Kennedy, Mick Foley. They're going to be in a fatal four-way. I don't know if I need to like structure them a certain way in this matchup to make sure that it works, but if that would actually be kind of stupid if that's how you have to do it. But we're also going to throw into this match, let's throw in, I think it might just have to be Matt Hardy and who's the other floater? Matt Hardy and Johnny Nitro. I could throw Chavo in there, but that'll just bring the rating down. So we're gonna throw, I already had Kennedy in there. We're gonna throw in Matt Hardy and Johnny Nitro to this matchup. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put this to the test. If a Fatal 4-Way ruins it, that is unfortunate. For the time being, I'm going to assume that triple threats ruin it. Though that doesn't make any sense, but until I hear otherwise from the comment section, I don't want to ruin my rivalries, but I am going to put this to the test here tonight with the Fatal 4-Way. I think it should be fine, but obviously the triple threat wasn't fine, so I don't know anymore. This week, however, we are going to finally see the one-on-one match between Lita and Trish Stratus. The Women's Championship will not be on the line. We're just going to throw that together. Yeah, since the other women's rivalry got ruined, I don't want to make this the Fatal 4-Way because I don't want to lose both. Actually, you know what? Okay, change of plans. The Fatal 4-Way is going to be the women's matchup. That's what we're going to do. Let's make it a Fatal 4-Way. Should I put the women's title on the line? No, I'm not going to do that. I won't put it. Ew, but then... Yes, I'm going to put the title on the line. No, I'm not. I'm not going to put the title... So after much consideration, I have decided to put the Women's Championship on the line in this Fatal 4-Way. That way, if the rivalry should be ruined here, then if the title changes hands as well, then I guess that'll be a way to kind of mix up the women's division for a little bit. The rivalries are sort of short-term anyway. They're kind of open to change. And since the Mickie James Melina rivalry was just ruined last week, now would be a time to throw together the Fatal 4-Way like that. So that's what we're going to do. Match 4, because I canceled this one. So this matchup is going to be, well, it can't be a triple threat because that will ruin the rivalry, apparently. So I guess we're going to form a, let's do a tag team. No, I already have a tag team matchup on the show. And I can't do a triple threat. Oh, this is tough now because I can't do what I'd want to do. So this week we are going to form a bit of an alliance, a newfound alliance, as Mick Foley is going to be taking on Johnny Nitro one-on-one, and we're going to put Mr. Kennedy in Nitro's corner. So that way we've got the interview to boost the matchup, hopefully get some extra attention on Johnny Nitro, and if he can pick up the win over Mick Foley, we could be looking at a potential tag team in the making. And as well, that should, well, Mick Foley, his popularity might go down a little bit from the loss, but if he gets the win, then it's not over Kennedy, so I guess Mick Foley gets his win back. That's cool. Now I'm starting to run low on superstars. We have the obligatory handicap matchup, and I can actually put Tori Wilson in this matchup. And since I have nothing to do for Tori, that's what I'm going to do. She's going to be in the handicap matchup, just to make sure that we can try to boost her popularity a little bit and keep her relevant, keep her in the mix. And I guess we'll throw Chavo back in here because he's got nothing to do. I might only have Matt Hardy left now. I only have Matt Hardy left. So, Chavo, you're going to do double duty. It's going to be Chavo Guerrero versus Matt Hardy. That's going to fill out the card. Is that what I want to do? What was the other idea that I had? Thought I had one more idea that I could stretch over. No, I don't. Otherwise, I'd be double booking Nitro, and I really don't want to do that. So we're gonna double book Chavo, or I could put. No, if I put Kennedy in there, that's going to ruin the rivalry. Yeah, this is the only way that I could do. Actually, no. I know what I was thinking. I could double up on this right now. It'd be worth 2 weeks of build-up. Taker, I could have Cena face Orton. Maybe I'll do that. And then I'll just keep Tori off the show this week. I think I'm going to do that. It does, unfortunately, take away from a week of building up to this matchup that I could be doing between, well, the tag team matchup, but it also gets a little bit of extra momentum going into Backlash, so I guess that I need as much of that as I can get. So, if I'm correct, it is Taker versus Edge, and it is Cena versus Orton. We've got a manager there, so this way, really, every superstar is only competing once. So that's about the best way that I can manage that. Otherwise, we're going to throw Matt Hardy in here, so that way Matt Hardy can get a bit of a boost to his popularity, and that should just leave Tori Wilson out of the mix. Unfortunately, there's just no spot for her on the card, and Chavo needs that popularity boost at the moment more so than Tori. So this is what we're going to have. We're going to play the Women's Championship matchup. Everything else can just kind of be simulated. We'll let it all play out as it will. Women's Championship, however, I'd like to try to keep it around Lita's waist. But if the title changes hands, so be it. So we'll just see how things go. It is time for the Women's Championship action. It is on the line, and here is one of the greatest in the history of professional wrestling. It is Trish Stratus. Of course, Trish Stratus in a rivalry with Lita. Hopefully, this matchup doesn't end the rivalry, because that would be very unfortunate. We would like Trish Stratus to stay around in this rivalry with Lita for as long as possible, because these two are the two who basically pioneered the Renaissance. Not the Renaissance, but not the Renaissance, what's the word I'm looking for? The revival of women's wrestling. They were two of the big hits in the early 2000s, along with, well, there's a lot of other names who were in the mix at the time, prior to the Divas and later the Women's Revolution that we're currently witnessing. Before then, it was Trish Stratus, Lita. They were the two who really carried it. However, they weren't the only women on the roster at the time, and currently, they're not well, obviously, they're not the only two women on the roster right now. As here is another challenger looking to capture the Women's Championship. It is Melina. I think Melina actually has a higher popularity than Trish Stratus at this point in time. I think Trish was a 66 when we got her, and Melina was a 68. So Melina could potentially be a better option to win the Women's Championship other than Lita. I mean, she's got the whole paparazzi behind her. Just imagine if she had the Women's Championship. It would only boost her arrogance even more so, and I'm sure Johnny Nitro would... Well, Johnny Nitro would be pretty happy to see his girlfriend win the Women's Championship here tonight. This right here is one of my favorites from my childhood. Between her and Michelle McCool, they were my favorite women on the roster at the time. And that, of course, is the one who returned at NXT TakeOver Toronto just, I guess by now it'll be a few weeks ago, Mickie James. And I gotta say, that match that she had with Asuka at NXT TakeOver Toronto, it was perfect. It was amazing. Well, maybe it wasn't perfect, but it was a good match. It was a really good match. A lot of psychology involved in there, as well as a lot of awesome technical wrestling and some pretty devastating kicks. Not just from Asuka as well. Mickie James with the devastating mitt kick could potentially win her the Women's Championship here tonight. It nearly defeated Asuka at NXT TakeOver, so maybe it could win her the title. As you can see, my editing might be a little bit inconsistent in these first few episodes, just because whether I decide if I want to talk over the loading screens or try to cut out the loading screens, but then trying to like piece together bits of commentary. Like, I'd rather have it just kind of overlap over the entrances like I did last episode, or at least I tried to do it last episode. Hopefully it worked. I haven't edited it yet, so hopefully it did. Because I don't like just having really kind of awkward transitions like, well, this thing is coming up and I gotta try to really squeeze in the words before we run out of time. Maybe we ran out of time and I'm still talking. So like, trying to like slow down to stretch out commentary over an entrance, or trying to really speed up and get it all in there before the entrance concludes. That can be a bit awkward. And then just sort of coming back, like, ending is like, oh, this is this. And we're back, and then doing that for each individual entrance. It's not my cup of tea. I personally think it's a little awkward, and I'm awkward enough as it is. So, still working on the whole editing thing. I might just talk over loading screens like I am now. I guess that is kind of the problem of doing this live, is that I can't edit it like I did last time. But this saves time in a spot where really I shouldn't have to do post commentary for a series like this, because it's different with the universe mode. That is meant to be post commentary. I can't possibly do that series live. This one though, it's more just me kicking back and enjoying a game. Oh my god, low blow. It's a fatal 4-way, but is there no disqualification? I guess low blows don't count if there is, because I've always run into trouble in the past with fatal 4-ways not being no disqualification by default. So I might have to just make sure to change that in the settings for future matches, because I can't tell you how many times I've gotten disqualified because I thought no disqualification. How did I hit the ref? Oh, jeez. Well, I don't want to get disqualified like I did in the first episode. Mickie nearly won the world title. Wow. Mickie nearly won the Women's Championship right there. So right now Trish going after Mickie James, and Lita going after Melina. As right now, Lita, look at this. Roll up on Melina. Melina has taken some severe damage so far in this matchup. But Trish Stratus goes over there to break up the pinfall attempt. And now Trish looking to capitalize on the damage done by Lita. Oh, punch right to the gut from Lita. Now changing her attack to go after Mickie James. And yeah, this is... It's kind of an old Mad Catz controller as well. That happened in the 2006 series. It would occasionally just kind of glitch out and disconnect me. So that will happen sometimes on occasion, but that's a pretty easy fix. However, the whole jumping back and forth is a bit new. I'm a little curious how to stop that from... Because it's not like the button is sticking or anything. Oh, wait a minute, Lita! Lita with the DDT, the snap DDT! Could Lita retain the Women's Championship in quick fashion? No, it's a rope break, so that means there's also disqualification. But a devastating drop kick there by Lita. Melina going to work on the leg at Trish Stratus. So that is a potential problem. I don't really know why the controller started sticking like that. Because, like, it's not like... Well, when I say sticking, the analog stick itself isn't actually, like, stuck. So that it's, like, if the stick was just stuck and it was in that position, then I wouldn't really have much of a problem there, because I could just fix it. I could find a way to, like, jerk it loose or something. But when it comes to, because it just thinks, that it's pushed to the left, even though it isn't. Wait, cover here by Lita. Lita retains the Women's Championship in quick fashion. These matches are actually going by pretty quickly. Maybe I can fit 2 into a video in the future if it stays like this. But Lita retains the Women's Championship here tonight, despite the Fatal 4-Way. The odds were against her, but she tried the pin on Mickie. It didn't work out for her. However, she was able to hit the DDT on Melina, and as a result, she is still your WWE Women's Champion. Lita, she is a fighting champion, and these people are going to have to work their asses off in order to take that title from her. She's not about to drop it to anyone anytime soon. And we know Lita, we know her fighting spirit. You're going to have to basically kill her to win that championship. That's if she doesn't kill herself off a suicide dive. Nearly break her own neck. So you never know. That is also a potential threat. Lita could cost herself the championship because of her daredevil antics. She didn't show any in that matchup, but when the going gets tough, you can be sure that she is going to go for that moonsault. And that could potentially be her undoing. So as we go ahead and take a look at the match card, we're going to go ahead and simulate the rest of the matches. So Randy Orton gets the win over John Cena, Mick Foley the win over Johnny Nitro. The Undertaker gets the win over Edge, so it's a bit back and forth between those two teams. And the team of Eddie Guerrero and Triple H with the win over Shawn Michaels and Rey Mysterio. So that's a pretty interesting show. Hopefully we can win in the ratings. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Fan change. No, it's SmackDown again. We usually start... Oh, but it's only by 10,000 this week, so we did a bit better. And I see why. It's because they have a new World Heavyweight Champion. Kurt Angle defeated Hulk Hogan to win the world title, so good for them. They just barely beat us in the ratings, though, so we are closing in. We're getting a bit better. So as we see, we struck a new deal with Johnny Nitro. Lita retains the Women's Championship, and I can't get to the sleeper match, so I guess we don't know what it is. I don't know. Also, it could be like the control pad is what is registering as pushing to the left, or maybe it's the analog stick. I really don't know what's doing it. Moral of the story, don't get a Mad Catz controller. This controller is probably like 7 years old at least. I've had it for a very long time. And I don't know if like it being inactive might be causing it to goof up like this. Could be. So we had a 2-star, 3-star, 2.5, 3-star, 3-star, 3.5-star main event. So this actually should be a 2.5-star show, I will admit. I'm surprised that that didn't get 3 stars. But that's actually not a good sign, because I think that yes. No, what the heck? So this rivalry is still okay. But this rivalry, the one between Mickie and Melina, it failed again. Hold on, what is the storyline for it? Maybe it's the storyline that's goofing up. It was Classy versus Trashy. can I look up a description for that? Storyline writers. I don't think it will let me now. No. But I think... I wonder if there are certain rivalries that are specifically singles. Like, if you do... Because... I'll have to try to... I'll have to see if I can look that up. Classy because that one I think might be specifically singles. So... Maybe you just can't... Maybe certain rivalries you can't throw other people into it. Because if I remember correctly, that one... Oh wait, I think I might have actually fixed this controller situation. If I just keep the analog stick pushed slightly to the right, it's neutralized. And I can actually move up using the D-pad. So that's pretty cool. I think I figured it out. But, yeah. Some of these rivalries may be more open to interpretation in terms of, like, Fatal 4-Ways or whatever. But that one might be specifically singles. I'll have to keep that in mind. I'll have to look more into that. That could be the case, because if the rivalry itself in the description specify... Let me see if I can check any other storylines that I don't have. This is a one-on-three. Okay, one-on-one conflict. One-on-one conflict. No, I don't think it's really gonna tell me. To be a legend returns to the ring, because that one doesn't, like... It does say one legend and one superstar, but it doesn't say, like, strictly one-on-one. So I don't know if, like, Battle of the Titans would be. Maybe I should hire Corey Ledesma and try to figure this out. I wanted to hire him anyway because of the Battle of the Titans storyline. But maybe I won't do that yet. Like, do any of these... This classic stories about betrayal. See, because it doesn't specify one-on-one in this instance. The winning, it's 2 male and a diva. A team. See, because that one says one-on-one, and it's more emphasized. So I don't know if that means, like, it is impossible for there to be, like, mixed matches in there. I will definitely have to look into that. If anybody knows, drop me a comment. That would be greatly appreciated. But SmackDown, they never have a first match. They had 2, 2.5, 2.5, 3.5. So the tag titles, they have Van Dam and Booker T. So actually the tag titles changed hands as well. It's no wonder they beat us in the ratings. Like Kurt Angle in a tables match at TLC. So it's either tables matches or ladder matches or some variation of the two on every show. It's the new Iron Man match. So between the 2-star and a 4-star, that makes 3 stars. 3.5 and a 2.5, that makes 3. This should be... No, that is not a 3-star show. We got robbed again. Every week. I'm the math whiz. I have to do the numbers. I have to check the numbers, and these are false. These are false, I tell you. Okay, so SmackDown does have the lead. So yes, we actually moved up a little bit. I don't see that. Well, I doubt. The only way that I could... It's tricky with a tag team, because what if Michaels would win the WWE Championship from Triple H? Would we shoot up to number 1? Would we drop down, or would we remain about the same? It really is an interesting question to look into in the future. Maybe I should just unite them as DX now and get it over with. So otherwise, Mick Foley went up, Taker went down a little bit. Of course, new tag team champions, they're going to move up in the ratings, or the rankings. I guess Edge's loss is going to weigh down the whole Lita Edge pairing. That kind of stinks. Tori Wilson made it onto the rankings list. That's cool. She didn't even compete this week, so... How she pulled that off, I have no idea. So Mick Foley, yeah, so otherwise... I didn't... Oh wait, that's right. No wonder I didn't go over power rankings last year, because there weren't any power rankings. Derp. But I do like to look at these, just to kind of see how things are progressing. I'm big into numbers and rankings, so like, looking at the power rankings here, I just think it's really cool. I like how Brennan Plays does his whole universe mode power rankings, because it's just kind of, you see people moving up and down in the ratings. It's actually, I used to check them on WWE.com, like the real life power rankings for a little bit. It would have been several years ago, back before I understood the whole like kayfabe isn't real thing. I don't even know how to describe it, but like back when I was still a naive wrestling fan and not a mark. But yeah, I still like power rankings. I still think it's cool to see how everything rates out. But that's going to do it for this episode of GM Mode. I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to stay tuned for the next one, and until then, keep on YouTubing.